Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to a Sneakers Insight video, and in today's video I wanted to talk on this whole situation with Kanye shoes. There's a lot of things I actually want to talk about with Kanye shoes because, man, for one, like seeing Adidas drop Kanye, well, because of why they had dropped him, I understand, overall. But at the same time, it's like, dang, you didn't really think it was going to happen because it was like, all right, well, maybe they might be trying to tell him to apologize. And, and it's kind of just, it's the air is still hot. All right. The air is still hot right now. So, yeah, for all the way from when they had dropped him to, now announcing, well, yeah, yesterday, it was official. They officially announced it themselves that they were still going to sell Yeezy shoes. They just wasn't going to have his name tied to it. Now, I want to talk on that. There's a lot, all right? There's a lot. I want to, is it okay to wear like old Yeezys? Like, what is the future of Yeezy shoes? Because like I said, there's a lot that I want to talk on. So, anyways, so my thoughts on Adidas still selling Yeezys, even though Kanye is not a part of it anymore. Now, if it was a situation where Kanye he sold the rights to like the designs and all that stuff to Adidas, then okay, then at the end of the day, he sold the rights. He can't do anything or say anything about it unless he tries to buy the rights back, which is if he wants to do that, that's 100% his choice. But if that's not the case, and they signed some or they came up with some contract to where it doesn't even matter whether he owns the designs or not, they're just going to sell them anyways. I do think that that's wrong. But I think from what I had heard that Adidas owned the rights to those designs. So they're in there, they can sell them. Plus from what I heard that they said that they're like, I guess the parts where they're going to have Yeezys, they're just going to have like Adidas there and stuff. So it ain't gonna say like like Yeezy 350, Supply 350. It's gonna probably say like Adidas or like ADS 350 or something. So like for those like Yeezy 350s, and then for like the Quantum is gonna probably be the same thing. Just the areas that says Yeezy, they just gonna put Adidas there. Which is like, so here's the funny thing, because I remember when Nike and Michael Jordan, they did that with the Air Jordan 11s, the Bread 11s. So there was these Bread 11s that came out back in 2012, and I think those were like considered the playoff 11s, right? So anyways, if you look inside where the like insole is at, it has the Jordan emblem, but I guess from back in the day, and that's how like what the OG design is that it would say Nike Air. So I guess that's how most people will probably look at those shoes, where it's like, okay, like there's gonna be that difference. It ain't like the OGs, but it's gonna still be the same shoe, but it ain't gonna be the same. And so I think, because my thing is this, so I remember I did have a pair of those shoes. I did have a pair of the 2012 Bread 11s. I was gonna keep them, but the issue was that the shoes were too small, and I was like, nope, can't wear these. These gonna hurt my toes. Can't do this. All right, so I had to go up. I actually went up a whole size. But at the end of the day, it's like, it was still a nice looking shoe. It wasn't like because I think the differences on that shoe versus like those ones that came out, I think in 2019, was that the Jordan sign on like the ankle part of the Bread 11s were backwards. So instead of it like facing where your toes are going and stuff, it was facing like at the like back of your foot and things, which is something that I didn't even like notice until like actually seeing people talking about it and stuff. And I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that. So I think that's, if anything, they're probably going to do that with Adidas and stuff, is just have it where things is backwards and they just tweak some stuff around, or they'll probably just keep it the same. But like I said, they're just going to have like Adidas there instead of Yeezys. So are those shoes going to be worth buying? Yes, 100%. I think if anything, people are still going to, especially if they come out with like some nice colorways, and or even if they come out with like retro colorways, I think people are still going to buy those shoes up. And so me personally, I don't think that it's going to ruin Adidas or anything. I think them shoes, people still going to buy them up. And if anything, this, I feel like this can give people the chance and opportunity to, so like, let's say if the shoes don't really sell, like, then these shoes, they hit the shelves, people ain't really buying them because they're all like, oh well, these ain't Yeezys, these are just the, because it's the same thing. That's the thing that I think a lot of people are missing. It's like, it still was being released underneath Adidas. It's just, it's gonna have Adidas name on it and stuff. I don't think the shoes is like going to be or feel any different. It's still gonna be the same shoe and stuff. So, and I think if they do that, I think it is gonna give people the opportunity to be able to buy the shoe and stuff. It's like a much more easier an opportunity to buy the shoe. So I'm for it. I'm 100%. You know, I, at least I know I'm gonna buy. Like if I see a pair of like the new re-imaged Adidas Yeezys or whatever they're gonna call them and stuff, I'm still gonna buy them and things. So I don't have an issue with them. I feel like there will be people out there that do have an issue with that and stuff. But yeah, me personally, I don't think it's going to ruin Adidas. You know, I think if they continue doing what they were doing with the shoes, and most likely they are gonna release, you know, newer colorways and all that stuff, and really do some things with the shoes, then yeah, I don't see how they can honestly have any issues or any problems. So I don't know. I think they're, but yeah, like I said, there's gonna be people out there, they gonna hate it regardless and stuff because it ain't Kanye and things that's releasing the shoes. So it's whatever. I mean, if people, if they hate them, they hate them and stuff. But I mean, it's not like I'm gonna be all like, oh, well, now that I'm gonna still go out and buy the shoes. If I see the shoes on shelves, or if I see them on the Adidas website, whatever it is, yeah, I'm still going to, yeah, I'm gonna buy them and things. But now I want to overall talk on, the actual Yeezys and stuff. Are those shoes, like, are they worth buying now? I mean, here's the thing, I do feel like that now, like, knowing that I have like a pair, like I have a few pair of Yeezys. It's funny because right before all this stuff had happened, I had bought me a couple of more pair of Yeezys. I bought me some 700s and some 380s. And to know that I have like a discontinued pair of shoes, like they're no longer gonna have like that Yeezy name, it does make the shoes more valuable in a way, but at the same time, it's like I don't really want to wear the shoes out in public because I'm like, the thing is like there's friends that I know that are Jewish, and I don't really know how they particularly feel about what Kanye said. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, if they are offended, then they're offended. But, I don't want to, make it seem like that I support what he says. So that's why I haven't really been wearing the shoes, and are the prices in the shoes, I don't even think the prices of those shoes have even jumped up in prices either. I like, if I let's just check StockX real quick, cause it's crazy. I don't even think they even have those shoes like on the front page and stuff. That's the weird part about it. It's like you go on here and it's like they have all these other different shoes and stuff. They got freaking electronics, bro. iPhones, PlayStation 5s, mouse for your your computer and things. They're showing all these different things, but they are not showing Yeezys. And I'm like, it is honestly, oh, they're showing off the Kyrie 8s. Dang, so they already kind of released those. I think they was like, yeah, same with Kyrie. They was all like, they're not going to release the. Also, they still do have them and stuff on their website. They just don't got them on the front page. Yeah, they got it where it's like you could get freaking his shoes actually at a cheap price. Like you could get you a pair of Yeezy, the 350s. Like there's these Beluga ones that's 260. You could get you some slides for 105. I think the cheapest that they have is 74. Where are some other ones? Where's those one? There's these one Yeezys that glows in the dark. And I was like, bro, I wanted those. I remember I wanted those Yeezys so bad, but dang, you gotta do some scrolling for them and stuff. But yeah, overall, I mean, dang, I never seen this Yeezy before. Kanye, he was coming out with some no, I got those. I already have those ones. What's the reflective ones? Let's try to find the hold on for a second. Let me just reflective. Cause non-reflective, okay, here we go. So those ones are 350. Now lower than, okay, 350. That was the read. Oh, so it's like $100. It's like $100 more for its size 10 and things. But yeah, I mean, dang, they took away. I'm on StockX. They took away that verified stuff. I was like, man, StockX is going through. What's up with the sneaker game right now, man? Freaking the sneaker game. You got StockX going through it. Kyrie shoes is going through it. Yeezys is going through it. What is going on right now, man? But anyways, but yeah, I think, Yeezys are still going to sell. Both Yeezys, like, Kanye's Yeezys and then Adidas versions of Yeezys, I think they're both going to sell. I mean, if they, let's just overall see who sells the most and stuff. So I think overall, yeah, Kanye's his Yeezys gonna overall has sold the most and things. But no, let's see what Adidas do with these shoes. Let's see when, because I think they say they're gonna start releasing these shoes next year. So yeah, let's overall see what goes down. And I think it's gonna be a win-win for anybody that wants them a pair of Yeezys, where it's like, if you never did get a chance to get you a pair of Yeezys, then it's like, next year may be your opportunity, because people may not really be messing with these shoes. And then overall, like if people are like, hey, I'm still gonna mess with the shoes, I don't care if they don't have Yeezys on them anymore, then it's gonna be a plus for Adidas. It's like, you guys ain't taking an L on a pair of shoes that that you guys have, because I think overall Adidas knows that these shoes are still gonna sell. So that's why they probably wasn't all like, oh, well, we gave the designs back to Kanye and all that stuff. So, but anyways, yeah, let's just overall see what goes down. But, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, if you are purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMOSS, so we'll knock $20 off your first purchase. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.